What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on, man?
What's going on? We got the football edition today, man.
got
High school football edition.
got another episode, man. Episode 4 of Datz Major, man. I'm Coach Void, Coach Kevin S. Side, and Coach Jolly, Ernest Jolly. What's going on, y'all?
Man, how's it going, man?
Oh, we definitely gonna have us a good one today, man. We might ruffle a few feathers today.
Oh yeah, man. That thing got me hyped up, man. I got my helmet ready. I got my gloves, man. I'm thinking about going to try for a semi-pro team, man. After finding out about all the talent in Middle Georgia, man. I'm definitely that thing that got me hyped up, man.
So, yeah, have y'all caught any? I caught some of them that girl basketball, man.
Man, let me tell you something. I want to give a shout out, man, to Lamar County Lady Trojans last night. They had a big win versus Washington County undefeated team, number 3 ranked team in the state, man. So I don't usually give a shout out to nobody, man, but I had to do that, man. Big win last night for the Lady Trojans, man.
Man, shout out to Tanaya Parker, man. Prior, man, she been dropping. Man. Girl been dropping like 25 or better the last few games.
Hey, ever since we had on the show, man, she been on the hot street, man. So
that's Talia. That's
Talia. Nah, this Tanaya.
Central got some over there, boy.
Oh yeah,
they got some. That's Talia we had on the show. Tanaya is the junior, man. She's the real deal.
Oh yeah, she's the one that got an offer from Wesleyan.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, man, I watched them yesterday, man. They played Upson Lee, man. They fought pretty. They were pretty tough against them.
Hey, when the region come though, I'm looking for them to really knock off a seed and make some noise in the region playoffs, man. I mean the region tournament.
Right. Yeah, man. Middle school is about over, man. I want to get into those girls, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. Reeves' little sister, Casey Reeves over at Boever. She pretty tough, man. She pretty tough, man. Her IQ, man, for a 6th grader, she gonna be all right, man. I'm looking forward to watching her.
I've been noticing some videos, man. They've been looking pretty impressive.
Yeah, man.
I got to see her one time when they played Athens. So yeah, they went to work on them.
Coach Void, man, tell the people, man, what we got for them today, man, on this Sunday, man, before the championship games of the NFL, man. Let the fans know what we got for them today, man.
Okay, man, we got a ranking, man. We doing the top 10 of the day, man. We're gonna do the top 10 on offense, man. Quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers of Middle Georgia high school players, football players.
What position we got for them today?
Well, we're gonna start off with receivers. We going Middle Georgia. We went based off the stats that was posted.
Max Prep,
and I think, man, we were pretty accurate with it. If anybody got any comments, man, drop them in the comments below. Let us know, man. We're gonna jump right on into it though, and throw some names out there.
Well, man, I'm gonna tell you, man. For myself, I not only went by the stats, man, but I went by the eye test, and most of the guys in the top 10, their teams advanced to the playoffs, and a lot of them, in some cases, they won a championship. So coming in, we're gonna start off with number 10, man. This kid here's the only freshman on the list, and he's actually the only kid to have a Power 5 offer, and that's Zion Reagan from Jones County. The kid, man, if you early in the season when Jones County was finding the mojo, this kid was making big plays, man. Tyreek Hill, like he ended up with 38 receptions, but look at the 15.4 average. And going forward, this kid is probably going to be if not one of the highly recruited kids in Middle Georgia as his career progresses. Did you guys get a chance to even to check him out on Friday Night Football? Or you know anything about the Reagan's kid guy?
Definitely when they played. Who did they play early on in the season? Ranked number 5.
Grayson.
Oh yeah, Grayson. As a matter of fact, he was pretty much one of the few bright spots in that game. That was man, Jones kind of played the brutal schedule this year, man. They played some of the big competition around and actually fared out pretty good. But he had some explosive plays against Grayson, and I'm pretty sure that corner was like got a few Power 5 offers. So yeah, I've seen him like in action, man. Kid can fly.
Oh yeah, man. This kid, he has speed that he's probably one of the fastest guys in Middle Georgia right now as a freshman, man.
Man, like the East Coast, man. he fast. I wouldn't even say Middle Georgia, man. That man, I think he's a track star too, man.
I think he was ranked in the nationals or something.
Yeah, that man nationally ranked. You gotta put some respect on the name, man.
Oh yeah, the number 9 guy coming in is kind of sleeper, but his team advanced to the playoffs, and that's Tyler Franks out of West Lawrence. This guy had 569 yards on 41 receptions, 13.9 average, and 5 touchdowns, and he led his team to the playoffs in a tough. The team finished 3rd in Region 4 Quad A. They went undefeated at home, but lost to a solid Cairo team in the playoffs in the first round. So the number 9 guy on the board is Tyler Franks. And that leads us to the number 8 guy down in Montezuma, Georgia, Jaden Hayes. Coach Dexter Copeland's squad, they were undefeated at home this season, undefeated in the region. They lost to a tough Warren County team, and Jaden Hayes was a big reason they had success this season as he compiled 41 receptions for 613 yards, 6 touchdowns, but that average was impressive, 15.0. So he was definitely a guy that was instrumental in their offense. And next season, he's going to be a guy to look forward to as one of the top wide receivers in Middle Georgia, Jaden Hayes out of Macon County. And as we roll around, that gets us to the number 7 guy on the list. This guy here, Justin Liu. If I had a guy that can play both sides of the ball, he's really more of a free safety at the next level. So his versatility was pivotal for Northside Warner Robins as they advanced in the first round of the playoffs. We got to the first round. He had 41 receptions, 751 yards, 16 average, and 4 touchdowns. He also returned a kick for a touchdown as well. So, like I said, his versatility going forward. He's a 6'2", 189-pound kid, so he translates more of the free safety at the next level. So, but he was a guy that he was pivotal in the offensive success of Northside Warner Robins this season. So that leads us to, hold on, I just want to stop for a second because the next 2 guys on the list, guys from Warner Robins, man, I didn't realize how much offensive firepower that Warner Robins had, guys, this year in the state champ. I knew they was explosive, but as we get into the rankings, we're going to find out that Warner Robins High School, man, their offense is one of the best, not only in Middle Georgia, but in the state. Coach Kevin, can you give us a preview, man, of one of the guys, man, from Warner Robins, maybe one of the running backs that was pivotal in their success this season?
What I say is I had 2 that made my top 10 list, and both of them rushed for over 1,100 yards. So I say that much. I ain't gonna give him that much.
That's I just want to give him a sneak peek. Warner Robins had 2 guys in the top 10, both over 1,100 yards. That showed how powerful that offense really was. And then they're gonna come in here. The next 2 guys on the list are wide receivers who both had over 7 touchdowns, and their yards per catch was also one of the top in Middle Georgia. So I just want to highlight Warner Robins, man. It was no fluke about how dominant they were in the regular season and in the playoffs. They was built around. And then as Coach Vo is going to tell us later on, man, the guy that was the key to the engine. We're going to see what number he finished in the quarterback rankings because that guy there, man, he's been racking up offers since we had him on the show. I'll just say that. And then that leads us to the number 6 guy. That's going to be Armand Porter. In 13 games, Armand Porter had 762 yards, but he had 8 touchdowns. And if you look at his yards per catch, 23.8, having to share the wealth with another receiver here on the list and the running back. The running backs as well, the two running backs. That shows how great of a player Armand Porter was. And it's 23.8 yards per catch. That probably ranked at the top in Middle Georgia this year. And that leads to his tag team duo number 5, and that's Mr. Davion Walker. He's a junior who has 790 yards and 7 touchdowns. Look for next year with a loss of a lot of seniors for Davion Walker to be pivotal, and Warner Robin's trying to reach his championship game and possibly win another one. So Davion Walker was a guy who comes in the top 5, his 7 touchdowns. That's going to be very important if he carries that over the next season. So that leads us the top 4 guys here, guys. The next guy on the list, I had a personal chance to officiate 2 of his games this season, so I had an up close look at this guy number 4 on the list, and he's that's Daquan Wright from Perry. This guy had 52 receptions and led Middle Georgia with his 52 receptions, but his versatility was key because sometimes they line him up at the tight end, kind of like Kyle Pitts from the University of Florida. And he also had to share the spotlight with a guy who received honorable mentions on this list, and that's Carlo Ted out of Perry. He's a junior, so those guys are kind of like Batman and Robin, as Perry were undefeated in the region and advanced in the playoffs. Daquan Wright was the guy that next year he may be, along with the kid out of Jones County, they may be the 2 top guys next year on this list going forward. And now before we get into the top 3 guys, I just want to say, guys, that the next 3 guys on the list all had double-digit touchdowns. So if a kid, Coach Boyd, as you know, getting into that end zone, that's pivotal in the success of anybody. So you know how important that is to have double-digit touchdowns, especially when some seasons were cut short and, COVID, they didn't play as many games and they didn't have practices. So for these top 3 guys on the list to get double-digit touchdowns, that says a lot about the type of players they are. And that says number 3 is a guy, a sophomore. He's the only sophomore on the list, and that's Jaden Mobley out of Blakely County. Despite the big fella, Marius Mims, everybody knows their running team, and he leads the way for them. The sophomore was actually their player of the year, the offensive player of the year, as he came in with 37 receptions, 739 yards, a 20.0 average, and 10 touchdowns only for a sophomore. So expect him to rise up the ladder, and he's probably going to get some college looks as he continues to develop over the next 2 seasons. Jaden Mobley was very pivotal for Blakely County as they advanced to the Elite 8 as the number 4 seed. As Middle Georgia may know, especially the Macon people, they came out of that region with Northeast, so in Washington County and Dodge County, so they came through they came from a tough region. So that leads up to the next 2 guys on the list, and these guys here are probably 6 miles apart or maybe 10 miles apart. And the number 2 guy on the list, last year he played Robin to Jontavius Robinson, who accepted a scholarship at Duke University. And so this year coming in, he was the main guy. He drew a lot of the coverage early in the season, which allowed the number 10 guy on the list to have some one-on-one opportunities. And that's Malik Wooten out of Jones County. Malik Wooten has been a guy over the past 2 or 3 years who's been making big plays in the return game, in the catch game. He had 51 receptions for 790 yards with 10 touchdowns, and that's actually sharing the wealth with the outstanding running back they had on the team, Andrew Carner, and also with the freshman Zion Reagan's taking up some a lot of the catches as well. So Malik Wooten had an impressive season. And guys, before I get to the number 1 guy on the list, I just want to say this guy, the number 1 guy on the list, man, after I analyzed the stats and when I looked at his huddle film, this guy was dominant. And I had a big game I went through, he played, which was pivotal in a big region game. This guy made big play after big play. This guy, number 1 on the list, he was instrumental in the run game. And when you look at his stats, you're going to see that, man, he had the yards per catch. He didn't have a lot of receptions because they had to spread the wealth around because they had a multitude of wide receivers who, was able to pick up big yardage in the passing game. But the number 1 receiver in Middle Georgia this year, and the stats don't lie, that's Brandon Watkins out of Northeast High School, people. This guy had 38 receptions for 857 yards, a 22.6 average, 11 touchdowns. And I've seen this guy in the run game be physical. I've seen this guy with a jump ball. You can throw it. He's his versatility. So pound for pound, this guy right here was no doubt number one in Middle Georgia this year. Brandon Watkins. I see he's going to be committed to Division II Concord University up in West Virginia. So this guy here, it's a shame they didn't get to play all of the games, because this guy here definitely would have had 1,000 yards on the season. And as I go back and look at that Northeast squad, there are some guys who could have made the list, but they had to spread the wealth around. So that shows how dominant this kid really was, Watkins. And as you guys know, Coach Boyd, you had an up close personal look at it. Can you kind of tell I know you went to most of the games Northeast played this year. Can you kind of tell the viewers about what you saw from Watkins this season?
Man, he was a beast, man. He didn't whenever his number was called or whenever he was open, he was ready. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, just talking with him and the rest of the receiving core, man, Zion and Bubba and the rest of them, man, they pretty good in the running game too, man, when it comes to blocking. You know what I'm saying? Like they pretty good with catching it. But like you said, man, the way the offense is, they spread the wealth around. So, like I said, all of them, man, they was ready when their number was called. Whenever they was open, they was ready. And whatever they was asked to do, they did, So it wasn't no, well, I ain't catching the ball, so I'm not gonna block, or it's not coming to me, So one thing about it, man, him, Zion, Bubba, even D-Icy, they threw him out at receiver sometimes, just as good, they just as good in the running game than they are in the passing game, man. They go and do their job, man. They block just as good as they, catch the ball. So, yeah, man, he's definitely a beast, man. He was he was definitely T.O. out there, man. Like, yards after the catch, all kind of stuff, man. So, yeah, man, it was exciting to look at him and watch him this year.
As I looked over the film, man, and watched the Huddle film, I recognized if I had a award to go out to the team that had the most versatile receivers, I have to go Northeast Macon, man. They had a lot of kids, though, didn't put up a large amount of like numbers individually, but as a whole, they was able to get the job done, because that's why it was difficult for me to, when I can honorable mentions, all those guys had a good season, man. Zion, Odom, Ottman, those guys had a huge year, man, along with Watkins. So it actually shows how big of a big play potential Watkins had, because he had to share the wealth with. They also had a great running back in the backfield as well, and the quarterback was player of the year. So Watkins, the 22.6 average, man, that's impressive for high school football, man. Coach Kevin, you had a chance to look at some guys on the list. What do you think about the list? And what are some guys that caught your eye from the list this season?
To be honest, from 10 to 1, I really can say that I think you hit it on the head for the stats that you do have. But what I will say is a few schools out there that we didn't get any stats from. Or Peach County, I'm pretty sure they would have somebody that would have made this list. Unfortunately, we didn't have anything on Peach County. Like, I was definitely looking for something from the quarterback, running back, and receiving position, but we didn't get in the stats for them. But from what we do have, so like for those that's out there that's like, well, why such and such ain't on the list? Like, more often than not, it's good we just couldn't find the stats for them. That's that. But I can say about Brandon Watkins, man, like, you look at talent and it's levels to it. And he's pretty much like at the top of that top totem pole as far as what I've seen.
Yeah, man, he's a total receiver. That's kind of what you want from your guys this season. You just don't want to be a guy that can catch balls. You want to be a guy that can contribute in the running game as well. And they was able to utilize him with the short slants and the quick screens. And his ability to break tackles, man, was just tremendous. I know I saw him in a playoff game this season. I also saw him against Blakely County. That's when he really, man, stepped up, especially in crucial situations. So it was no doubt that this kid was the number one wide receiver on the list, man, from Middle Georgia. There's really no doubt about that, man. If you really look at the numbers and pound for pound, so as he progresses forward, man, I see for him nothing but to get better because he has so much potential. Seemed like a late bloomer this year. He really came on the scene this season. So I really expect many things. He's progresses forward, man. So if you're watching Brandon Watkins, just know that kid, man, you full of potential, and just keep working hard, man. You got great things ahead for you, man.
All right, fellas. Before we get into the quarterbacks, we're gonna go ahead, man, and get into the youth spotlight, man. About two of my girls on that I've got, that I've had the pleasure of coaching. Matter of fact, that I'm helping coaching now. Two basketball players, man. They play for the AAU Push also. And let me bring them on, man. Like I said, I like to respect the ladies, so we're gonna bring on Miss Mathis and Miss Simmons.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, ladies.
Hi.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
How you doing, Princess?
Good.
So we're gonna start off with you, Miss Queen. So Miss Queen, what school do you go to?
And she hears.
Can you hear us, Miss Queen? She probably unmute your mic. Hold on 1 second. Can you hear us? Take your mics. Unmute your mic.
Feel like we got some technical difficulties.
Yeah, their mic's muted. Hold on 1 second.
Coach Kevin, man, we got something important going on at 3:00, man.
Hey.
It started at 3:00 today, man.
Look, hey, I know. Look, that what happened. You bring Miley on here, man. You bring Miley on, you gonna talk all day.
At 3:00, man, you got.
Always something to talk about, huh?
Man, please. Look, he gonna have to come back like for the Christmas special or something.
Coach Kevin, man, not giving away your running backs list, man. What caught your eye the most, man, on that list? Like, what's the one thing that surprised you the most, man, when you went and analyzed the numbers, man, and really looked in depth at the running backs in Middle Georgia? What really caught your eye?
Man, let me put it like this. It's a dude on here that averaged almost 14 yards per carry. Yeah, I don't think nobody grasps the dynamic of that, man. 14 yards carry. Every time this man touched the ball, you're guaranteed a first down or better.
Look, man, when I got a sneak peek at your list, man, I saw a couple names. It really showed the talent that we had around Middle Georgia, man. And a lot of people don't know we got a lot of great talent right around here in the area, man. So when I looked at your list, I was very shocked to find the talent, man. A lot of great backs in the area, man. That really was surprising because a lot of times we think that the high school game is translated over to the passing game a lot, but your list is definitely going to show that the running backs in the area, man, there was a lot of depth in Middle Georgia.
Oh man, we had a couple of running backs, man, that outrushed some passes. I got one guy on the list, man. He accounted for 72% of the team's total offense.
You can describe him as a workhorse, man. I tell you, he's a real true workhorse, that guy there.
Yeah.
Coach Boyd, were we able to reach the ladies?
Yeah, I'm trying to still get them, man. Their mics are being muted, so I don't know what's going on with that.
You guys want to?
We can take care of that, man. We'll go ahead and jump into the quarterbacks.
Man, the trigger man. Everybody wants to play quarterback. Everybody wants to be quarterback. So I'm interested to see, man, what guys around the area stood out on your list, man. As you get ready to introduce your list, man. I'm interested to see like what guys stood out on your list, man. What caught your eye, Coach Voigt, man, before you unveil your list? What stood out to
Well,
you when you
well,
analyze the numbers?
to be honest, man, I go by what I've seen in the past and what I've seen this year. A lot of them, man, I can't. Some of them I haven't seen, so I pretty much just went by stats because stats don't lie. But I do got a few guys on here, man. I couldn't get stacks for, and I put them on there, man, just because of what I know they can do and what based on their impact, and based on how their team look without them.
It's very unfortunate, man, that teams aren't posting the stats, man, because sometimes that's the only way that you can really see what happened during the season when you're unable to catch all the games, man. So it's very unfortunate teams aren't able to post the stats for the kids, man. That's another way to, for market the kids, possibly college coaches taking them, they just look at the stats. So, it's very unfortunate.
So pretty much, man. What I'm gonna do,
before
man,
you start now, I got to call them out now. I got to call you out, cool, because your list, one thing ain't like the other. You didn't rank yours.
Nah.
He ain't do no ranking, John.
I can explain why I didn't.
What's the give us the disclaimer, because there gonna be some guys. I'm gonna come back and ask you who you think the top guy is off your list, so you get ready. But give the viewers your reasoning for not ranking the guys.
One of them was systems. You know what I'm saying? The reason why some people got different systems than others. Like I say again, numbers don't lie. Then again, games. You got some that played a few more games than others. Again, numbers don't lie. So I couldn't really put it in there. Like I said, I always look at the what if sometimes. It's just in me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't help it. So I look at it like I go by based on impact, and that's why I really couldn't rank them. But I can tell you who a top 10 is in no specific order. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead now before the
I kind of disagree though. I kind of disagree because it went on that list. If you can call them top 10, but you definitely got one on that list that's definitely a one.
Yeah. We know. Yeah, we know that. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, it just I couldn't do a top 10 because I just couldn't. I mean, I couldn't rank them. I couldn't go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Hey, Coach Voigt, can you tell the viewers why we weren't able to get the private school guys all their numbers? Because we really want to consider those guys. But can you give out why we weren't able to get the private school guys in there?
Well, on my end, I know a few of them, at least one. But on the other end, man, they're not posting them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't post the stacks. I'm glad that I did go to a few of the games just because I know a few of the kids. But they didn't post the stacks, so I guess the stacks are private too. You see what I'm saying? Just being honest, I couldn't get to any of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, I officiated a few games, man, at the private school level. Matter of fact, I officiated the first game of the season for one of our guests on the show today, man, and it's just hard to get the numbers. It's hard to get the numbers on them. I don't know what's going on over there as far as who's in charge of that, but it's hard to get the numbers on the private school kids. Man, so the top 10, 10 gunslingers in Middle Georgia, no particular order. Coach Voigt, you ready to come out with your top 10 list?
Yeah, man. We're gonna keep it simple though. I'm not gonna, because a lot of these kids I didn't see play. But like I said, when I went and looked, and you're looking at numbers, man, you be like, okay, this kid here, man, he had to be doing something, So, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Top 10 quarterbacks with a few, honorable mentions. See what we got. We can go on and flip.
You gonna start off like that, huh, Coach?
Jalen Addy. Jalen Addy, man. I think he had the biggest impact of any quarterback in Middle Georgia. The numbers don't lie. He brought a championship home. And what else can I say, man? I'm glad that I got a chance to even meet this kid, man, because he was really amazing this year. And I'm glad, man, after all the experience of going to the championship, man, and he finally got one, man, in his senior year, man. So shout out to Jalen Addy, man.
Man, the kid, he's been writing up a couple of offers, man, since the last time we talked to him. I know he got an offer from Morehouse, so look for this kid, man. They no doubt play at the next level.
That's right.
And that's 3,200 yards, man, and 38 total touchdowns. That's like ridiculous.
Hey, y'all see the stacks, man. You see the stacks, so that's kind of hard, man, to overcome, man.
I wonder does that include the 6 in one game up there in the semifinals?
Yeah. I'm thinking it is, but hey, man, even without those, man, look, I mean, that's crazy. His impact on the championship team, man. So, shout out to Jalen Addy, man.
Let me know when you're ready for the next one.
You can go ahead. Click on over. All right, John Richard. A junior, man. He's from Jones County. Jones County had a pretty good year this year, man. As you can see, he had a receiver, man, that was in the top 10. So
had 2 receivers in the top 10.
Two receivers. I'm sorry, 2 receivers. As you can see, man, he racked up on the passing yards, man, and he was over 50% in completions. Man, he had 19 passing touchdowns, man. And he even ran. He rushed for 8?
Oh no, he just had he was pretty much standard pocket passer, man. He didn't do too much rushing.
Okay.
Yeah, 83 rushing yard total.
Okay. Yeah, man. Shout out, man. And he's a junior, man, so that he's gonna be something to deal with next year.
Well, let me say this though on that, guys. There's a freshman by the name of Solomon Burney in Jones County. He's about a 6'3", 6'4" kid. Man, it's interesting to see going forward. With John Richard being a junior, Solomon Burney is a kid that I don't know if he's going to wait around to wait his turn, but I seen that kid play this year as a 9th grader, and he's actually got some mop-up duty. They may have a controversy in Jones County, my friends.
All right, let's ride on to the next one. Okay, man, I can't say enough about this guy right here, man. Trayvon Solomon, a junior at Northeast, man, is one that I actually got to watch every game this year. And, man, his impact, man. What you call him, Coach Jolly?
What that?
I said, what name you used to call him? Yeah.
Man, let me just say this about him. His growth this season, from last year when I officiated a game, that last game of the season, and to this year, his growth was tremendous. And he actually shows how much he worked in the offseason. I used to go out to the track and see him out there working. So I just want to get this kid, man, player of the year, region player of the year. Hey, man, this kid, hey, man, his growth this season, I look forward to him taking that next step next season, and look out for the Raiders. Look out for the Raiders.
Hey, man, we got a few comments that said that quarterback from Jones kind of gone.
Oh, so already?
Oh, so he's a senior. He's not junior.
Nah.
Okay.
They say he gone to Baldwin. So I just wanted to correct that, so everybody will know, man, so they'll know what they're looking out for.
Who that, Burney's going to Baldwin? Which quarterback going to Baldwin?
Says Solo.
Solo's going to Baldwin. Boy, that's breaking news. Hey, we might be the first to break that one right now. Hey, guys.
Hey, that's major.
Hey, that's major. Guys, that's major. So I don't know if you heard that correctly, but we're going to verify that. But the breaking news is the freshman sensation, the fabulous freshman, has transferred to Baldwin County. Be on the lookout. That's a big time pickup, guys, for Middle Georgia. I'm telling you, that kid has all the tools to be a phenomenal quarterback. But back to Mr. Solomon, Coach Kevin, did you get a chance to check him out this year during the season? And as he laid that playoff run, tell the viewers what you saw from Solomon.
One thing about it, man, just build on what you said. He has matured a lot. You can definitely see the maturity in his game now. He didn't try to force things too much. He pretty much took the game as it came to him, made good decisions, and all I can say is he gonna have to build on 2,300 yards passing, 28 touchdowns. I love to see what he got cooking for next year.
I say even better year.
Yeah.
Especially by him, getting offensive player of the year this year, man. I definitely see it. He got the weapons around him. He in the correct, he in the right system. I like his chances, man. And
I look forward, man, to him being more involved in the running game next season, as far as being able to keep the ball and scrambling more, because he's definitely an athlete who sometimes he held on to the ball too long instead of just taking off, because he can pick up. Sometimes he can just break out easily.
Pick it up in chunks, man. I think I remember him leading them back in the Washington County game.
Right. Yeah.
Like I think I remember at one point I'm like, it's 6 minutes left. They down by 12, man. This game over. And I'm like, and the next thing you know, you get a big turnover, man. And he went on one pretty long drive, and then they got a turnover, and he marched them right into the end zone.
Oh yeah, man. It's gonna be like I said, look for this guy's recruitment to take off, and look for him probably to be in one of the candidates for Middle Georgia Player of the Year next year. He's already won this year, so if he doesn't win this year, definitely look for him to be probably the favorite for next year.
It's crazy because he's one of the top basketball players in the city.
Oh yeah, so that shows his athleticism, man. And like I said, I watch him grow and develop, man, and he's definitely made tremendous strides. Who's next on your list?
Jalik Thomas. I didn't actually get to see him this year, because I was at all of Northeast games. So, but just me hearing about him, man, and his impact, man. Central, man, they went to the second round in the playoffs, man, and he had a pretty good season, man. Jolly, did you get a chance to watch him?
Yeah, man. This kid right here, Jalik Thomas, you can use the word versatility to describe him, because as you can see by the rushing yards, 899, he was pivotal in turning Central around. Central, past several years, has not been a playoff team, but this kid being asked to be the quarterback, and being that he didn't have that many years of quarterback, he was mainly an athlete. This kid really was huge, man. So I definitely know about Jalik Thomas, and he helped put Central back on the map this year. Coach Kevin, I know you scream about that orange sometime. Do you know anything about Central and this kid this season?
One thing about it, I think this graduating class, probably the best class Central had since I think I came out. They beat Westside, so that made them better than that. They the first Central class to do it. And it's a bigger deal than we admit. That's a monkey that we had on our back for a while. Though. Matter of fact, when I played, Coco scored 7 touchdowns on us. So yeah.
And then Coach Boyd, Central played in a brutal region with Peach County and Chris, and for them to still make the playoffs out of that region showed the work that Jalik put in, and the coaching staff. He was very instrumental in those guys advancing to the playoffs this season.
Yeah.
Right, man. Right. Shout out to Central, man. Central and the coaching staff, man. On to the next. All right, man. Dominique Sasser. He's down at Blakely. Like I said, man, I got a chance to see this guy that one time we played him, man, and he looked pretty good, man. And They played pretty good down the stretch against us, man. What do you think, Coach Jolly, man?
As I recall, man, it was a back and forth game that night. I was there, and the kid definitely was going back and forth. As you can see in the picture below, he got had a big fella protecting his blind side all season. So, and the big fella definitely gave him time. And Blakely County is a 4 seed, as I mentioned earlier, was a 4 seed in the playoffs out of that tough region with Northeast, Washington County, Dodge County, and themselves. They advanced all the way further than anybody from the region, and Dominique Sasser was definitely one of the reasons why. They was as you can see by his 21 touchdowns, as they were able to advance to the Elite Eight this year. All their playoff games were actually on the road, so they won 2 road playoff games. So that was a great way to go out for Sasser as a senior.
Um,
What you got next on the list? Now, this is a guy you were talking to me earlier about. Tell us
right.
about the sophomore.
I really picked him, man, because of his, the stacks, man, he got as a sophomore. You know what I'm saying? Playing over there in that system with Mayor Person, man. Like I said, a lot of these kids I didn't get a chance to see, man, because, me being a parent this year, had a bunch of the Northeast games. But by him, having the numbers that he has, man, as a sophomore, I love to see how he'll look in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, I had a chance. He had a guy by the name of Adrian Hughley. I know one of the receivers who I want to give an honorable mention to. I was just waiting on you to bring Mr. Hickman on the board. He's definitely a sophomore who, going forward, is going to be a guy to be looking forward to in Middle Georgia. Coach Kevin, how do you feel about Mr. Hickman here? It shows as only a 15-year-old sophomore, his ability to go 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. What do you think about him going forward? How big of an accomplishment you think that was for a sophomore?
I think that for him to play at Mary Person one, that's pressure on you. Mary Person has a tradition of winning. So to be a quarterback at that school, being young like that, stepping up to the plate, he's probably fit for the job.
You're right. Their traditional program for him to start as a sophomore shows, with the coaching staff, think about it.
All right, moving along. Blake Etheridge down at Veterans. Veterans had a pretty good year. Again, like I said, man, I didn't see a lot of it. I didn't see a lot of these teams that I wanted to go see, even though I heard about them a lot. Coach Jolly, you the ref. I know you probably seen a few of them.
Well, actually, man, I didn't get a chance to see him up and close. I just looked at his whole film. That Jones County game stood out to me. So I would have to say the highlight of Etheridge's senior season was when they beat Jones County, which shocked a lot of people, and he was key. So that probably was their biggest win of the season. As you can see, he was a senior with 2,000 yards, 57% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns. So Blake Etheridge, and if you can think about it, guys, Veterans is definitely they were not a football powerhouse, so they've definitely built that program around, and they got the facilities down there. So Veterans all around, man, they got their team a school that's on the rise down there.
One thing I can say about Veterans, pretty much they lost a lot of close games. They lost they weren't consistent because, like I said, for them to be able to go out and beat Jones County, and like they had a decent record. They ended up 4-6. It's just maybe lack consistency at times, but they actually, I think they are a better team than their record dictates.
It definitely showed the knockoff a powerhouse like Jones County showed their potential. They just they can put it all together week in and week out.
Again, Mr. Parker, we're not ranking the quarterbacks. They're just, we just showing them. They're not being ranked.
Man, hey, you ain't even got to call that man Mister. Hey, man, don't come on here with that, man. Don't come on here with that miss, man.
All right, on to the next one. Lane Rucker, senior down at Perry, man. He had a pretty good year. I know they had a pretty good running back down there too, man. I seen him nominated for Player of the Week a few times. But for the quarterback to be in here, man, that says a lot too. What did you see with that one, Coach Jolly?
Man, Perry actually, this is probably the best season Perry's had in a long time. They actually won the region championship in advance, maybe to the second, third round of the playoffs. And Lane Rucker was a key reason, but he had a lot of talent around him. Like I said, we'll see when Coach Kevin unveils his running back list. They had a talented running back. They had a couple of two receivers, one that made the top 10, and also another guy, Carlos Head, who was an honorable mention. So Lane Rucker definitely was a guy who had a tremendous season for Perry this season. Like I said, Perry football is back on the rise, and Lane Rucker was a big part of it.
All right, shout out Lane Rucker, man.
You don't about to reveal half my list, Jolly. You don't about
I ain't get no names.
Hey, we don't need no more sneak peeks. You don't need like 6 sneak peeks. We gave I half my list.
All right, shout out to Perry, man, and Lane Rucker, man, and the coaching staff down there, man. Let's move on.
Hey, they just care about the rankings, Coach Kevin. They just care about where they ranked at.
I know, right? Look. What I always say, he ain't ranked nobody. They just on him.
Yeah, hey, I'm showing love. I'm showing love, man. Hey, man, Jalen Miller, a junior over there at Westside, man. And again, like I said, I didn't get to see Westside, but I know they was pretty tough. But I did kind of, I talked to him maybe a month ago, man. He's a real good kid, man. He's very, respectful. Man, and he had a pretty good impact on the West Side over there, man. As far as what I can see, I seen a few highlights, man, and seen him have a rushing TD, man, a clinching rushing TD on one of the games, man.
Coach, I actually saw him against Howard up and close, and as a first year starter, he was pretty solid, for a guy, coming in there for his first season. So he, like I said, West Side went to the playoffs. He's a main reason why.
Gotcha. Shout out to West Side, man, and Spoon and Jalen Miller, man.
It shows a touchdown, the 7 rushing touchdown shows that he's a dual threat. So in the offseason, I expect him to work on his completion percentage, but he's a guy going forward next season that definitely be one of the top quarterbacks in the city.
Gotcha. Moving along. So I had to put my guy on here, man. He had a major injury, man, but his impact for Southwest, man, he would have made a better impact for them, man, because of their season. Losing their number 1 quarterback, man, I think, it kind of hurt them. Along with the COVID, not being ready for the season or whatnot. You can't, it's hard to get prepared for COVID. So I did have to put him on, man. Had to mention him. And I hope he have a good season next year.
I'm gonna definitely say, man, this kid impact was definitely felt by him being out, man. I know up and close, man, the sky reports from teams definitely changed and definitely shifted when this guy wasn't in the lineup, man. The things that he showed how important he is to the Southwest machine, man, of their offense, this season, man, when he went out. So I just wish that the kid a healthy recovery, and I hope he get a chance at senior year, man, to really showcase his talent, man, because the kid has a lot of skills.
Right.
Like, especially with the COVID, I think that was a huge impact on the team, almost as much as the injuries affecting them being able to practice. Like, they had a few outbreaks, so like I only think they played 6 games total.
Right.
So they had to, deal with not being able to practice or practicing irregularly.
Right. Shout out to Cersei, man. We're watching you, man. Hope you have continue your basketball season, man, and I hope you have a good season next year, man.
Definitely. Well, let me tell you about you. Oh, you had one more left.
One more, man. One more. I had to put my guy on, man. A Corey Jones, man, a junior over there at Mountain Seal, man. We didn't have any stacks on him, man, but I know with his impact, man. He's real good friends with my son, man. And I had a chance to coach him in the 6th grade. He played down with Macon United, down with Coach Adonis, man. And he had a very good impact, man, on Mount Seal this year, man.
I saw him, man, the first game against Monticello, man, and it was his first game starting at quarterback. So he definitely showed the flashes, man, that game that I knew he would have a breakout season this year. So as I saw, he was one of the candidates for Middle Georgia Player of the Year, man. So that definitely showed his impact on Mount DeSales.
Right. All right, man. Like I said, man, wasn't gonna be in the ranking with the quarterbacks. I just had to show him some love. I'll leave that up to y'all, man. Y'all do the ranking.
Oh, well, you showing a little. I got some tough love when we do these running back. I do tough love with the running back.
Hey, do it,
man. You did a great job, man, of showcasing a lot of QBs from the area, man, and but man, the stats speak for themselves. Number one on the jersey, number one in your heart, number one on the list. Mr. Addy, in my opinion, was no doubt the undisputed top quarterback in Middle Georgia. And so I don't know if you did that by coincidence or what.
Yeah, man. Addy had the biggest impact. Then I have to go with what I've seen. You know, I love the Solomon. You know what I'm saying, and just based on what I seen from him, and he helped Northeast out on some games, man. When some stuff broke down, man, he had some clinching plays, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out them two number ones, man.
Hey, he's the guy next year going forward, man. I expect Solomon to be at the top of these rankings next year, man. He's definitely that guy coming back for his school and for Middle Georgia that we need to keep an eye on.
Right. Yeah, man. Well, bring on.
Before you get started, I've been seeing this flyer going around, man, with these two dudes on there, man. These guys. What you got? Who's been on? Who these guys on that flyer, man? Been going around on social media.
Hey, man, we got Xavier Hardy, man. We still waiting on the core to sign on, but we're gonna go on with Xavier, man. Bring him on, man. Xavier Hardy down at Tapnell, man. Big defensive end, man, making all the noise over there.
What's up, man?
What's going on,
man? How you doing,
man?
Yeah, mate.
Hey, man, hold on. Before you get started, man, I'm going to tell you, first time I ever saw you, it was at a Red game. You walked in with Coach Boyd and Rosa Jackson. I said, man, ain't no way this kid here this age, man. I can't remember what age it was. But Coach Boyd, that was my first time ever seeing him. And I knew then, boy, you were one of the best recruiters in Middle Georgia. I knew then, that day, when I met the kid, I said, man, and he was just dominating the game. I said, Coach Boyd, find him everywhere. So that was a funny story. I just want to share with it.
Hey, Coach Boyd love him, and they love him back, man. They gonna come find me.
Oh yeah. Welcome to the show today, man. Glad to have you, man.
Appreciate it.
I actually saw you, man, up there at the Elite Classic game, man, over there in December. I saw you up there, man, with you, CJ Allen of Lamar County, and Johnny Williams at Northeastern represent 478 up here at the Georgia Elite Classic. So before we even get started, man, can you tell the viewers what did you weigh in? What was your measurables up there at the Georgia Elite Classic? Because I know from the Twitter feeds and talking to coaches, man, you really stood out with the weigh-in, man. Can you tell the viewers what you weighed in at?
I weighed in at 237.
Well, how tall was you?
6'6".
Okay, 6'6". So I saw in the game, man. I saw you making explosive plays, man. So I just want to say I saw you. I didn't get a chance to talk to you, man, but I saw you up there in the game.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I had to go out there and show out, man.
That's right. For the foe.
So,
Coach
man, go ahead, Coach.
Go ahead, bro. You gotta go.
So when did you? I think I noticed, but when did you really start playing football?
I'm like 5 or 6.
Oh, okay. So it was a little before when you played with me. So
yeah, I was playing flag, but my first year I was playing tackle for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, man. What Bulldogs was that?
I think 2012.
Yeah, man. I wish I had a throwback pitch.
Yeah,
man.
Hey, Coach Boyd, he played for you Memorial?
Yeah, he played for me when he was 7. Yeah, he But you played linebacker for me then. I think you played linebacker, man.
Yeah, I played linebacker.
Yeah, man. He had an impact then, man. When I seen, like, man, this kid, he was pretty big, man, and he can move. Like, man, I see, I see some football in his future, man. So he came on with me when he was 7, and look at him now. So what about your middle school play?
You saying
What did you play at in middle school?
I've been playing DN since 7th grade.
7th grade. Where did you play at?
Played at Howard Middle School.
Okay. So what was your experience there? Going because you went to the high school too, right? Your freshman year.
Yeah.
So what was your experience at Howard, man? How was that?
I mean, being around the 2 explosive players we had on offense, and the defense core we had with the linebacker core and defense core. I meant defensive line core with the DB. It was good, but it really wasn't because they so favoritism. I feel like I could have started my freshman year, but they were hanging.
Okay.
So I just go ahead and ask the question that a lot of people want to ask that everybody don't necessarily have the pleasure of experiencing. Between GHSA and playing public school and private school ball, where you feel like the you come across the better competition?
I mean, we in GHSA, so
yeah, but like but outside of playing other private schools, where you feel like the biggest challenge at? Public or private?
Oh, it's in public for sure.
Oh, it's definitely public.
Yeah, because you got more players in public than you got some players in private.
Yeah, you got more players in public. That makes sense. You got more players, so that the higher percentage of being better, better players are being public.
And the side, you got some people that big, some people that small. So I'm used to playing against bigger people. I don't play against some big people. Then I might run on cross on every now and then.
Speaking of that, hey, Zay, can you tell the viewers, man, how was your experience? Speaking of competition, when you went up there to that Georgia Elite Classic game and competed against some of the rising sophomores, like how was that experience? And who were some guys that you maybe saw there that that could compete on your level? Or tell us about your experience up there, first of all.
It was good. Like a lot of the people in my grade, I had a lot of offers. They were telling me my time was coming because that's my first time ever having exposure. They 4-star, 3-star. I feel like a lot of them shouldn't be ranked without the offer they got. Yeah. I'm better than a lot of them. I ain't being cocky. I'm just saying. So it was good though.
Yeah, man, my guy, I tell you, my guy CJ Al, he said, man, y'all linked up there. I told him he was gonna be on the show, man. So he told me to tell you what's up. And also, man, who are some guys you may like? Who are some guys that you saw up there, man? One or two guys that that you maybe linked up with up that way.
I was there with Jennifer Nurky.
Okay.
We played middle school ball together.
That was pretty cool, man. For you to link back up with your hometown guy, man.
Yeah.
What would be like for say you was giving advice to a young player that was considering making the jump from public to private? What type of advice would you give them as far as just getting adjusted to being in the private school setting?
The school work for sure. You can't get behind on work. In public school, you get behind on work, catch up like that. But in private school, it takes some time. You got to study. Jack ain't going there. Ain't gonna be no breathing.
Yeah.
And they preparing you for college already. So when you get to college, it's gonna be a breathe.
Yep, they're right.
Hey Zay, who's your favorite player, man? Who's a guy in the NFL or at the college level that you model your game after?
Young.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Yeah. I like and Jadavian Clowney,
Okay.
And Cam Jordan. Yeah, that's top 3 for sure right there.
Okay. Like I said, man, I saw you. I watched the game, man. I was at the game, man. I saw you making plays. your length, man, and your ability to bend the corner and get around the edge really showed out in the game. And going forward, what do you have on your schedule, man? Do you have any MVP camps you going to attend, or any rivals camps? Like, do you got what's on your schedule for the offseason?
Oh, I got the offense and D line count February 6th. I don't know yet though. I got invited to the Georgia Florida game, but I ended up not going.
Oh, okay.
But more likely I'll be going to rival this summer.
Yeah, man, I've been checking myself, man. I see they haven't posted the schedule yet and the dates, but I'm definitely looking forward to them posting the dates, man. And like I say, man, the guy, you're on the rise, man. You're one of the top sophomores, not only in the area but in the state, man. So just keep working hard, man. Just remain humble, man, and got a bright future, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, man. It was a blessing having you, man.
All right.
All right.
Take it easy, bro.
All right, man. The next one, man, we're going to come on. We finally got my partner on, man. Corey Jones, man. I'm bring him on. What's going on, man? Been looking for you.
Yeah.
Hey, what's man, going on with you?
What's going on, man?
Not too much.
Every time I see you, man, I tell you, we got a story about this kid. I first started the teacher career, man, at Jesse Rice. I was substituting as a PE teacher. I tell the kids no tackle. Every time I look up, they out there tackling. He out there juking in 5th grade, man. So it's I knew this kid had the juice back then. You know, you tell him no tackling. He take him over there in the corner. They start tackling, but nobody could never tackle him, man. So every time I see him, I just remind him, man, how proud of him I am of him, man, in the development of a student athlete and as a player, man. So it's a pleasure to have you on the court.
Appreciate it.
Well, shoot, if couldn't nobody touch him, then technically, Jolly, he wasn't tackling. He wasn't playing
tackling. He wasn't tackling.
No, he wasn't tackling.
You're right about that. You're right about that, Coach Kevin. Yeah. Man, tell us about, I told the viewers earlier, Corey, man, I had your first game this year against Monticello, man. You first started at quarterback. Can you kind of tell us about your season? How was it to be a quarterback starting your first year, man? Can you kind of tell us about that?
I really wasn't even looking forward to it coming from my sophomore year, because I played a lot of wide my sophomore year. So I wasn't really looking forward to it, but it was something I had to do for the team. So I just did it, you know, and I did all right. I feel like I went complete and then like that. That's what I've been working on, becoming a more complete quarterback, because I would really run first. But that kind of how offense worked, though. We did run first team.
Yeah, man, from what I saw, man, I just want to say, first of all, it says a lot about your character to be a team player, because, you know, you was doing what's best for the team. But in a sense, man, versatility is key, man. So going forward, and, you know, as you head towards your college career, you never know what position you're going to play. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm glad you was able to, you know, just do what was best for the team, man. But you put up some numbers, though.
Like, oh, yeah. Man, that definitely say a lot about me. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the stat, man, 238 carries. That means that he getting the ball, the other team know he getting the ball, still was able to put up 1,700 yards, 10 touchdowns. Like, that's definitely no small feat, man.
So we got a comment, man, in the comments section, man. It asks, what's the most memorable game?
Nah, it was Strong Rock. That was a game I got to make a touchdown club back a week. I ended with a total of 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 1 receiving. I had like 365 yards on the ground. And then the touchdown reception was about 30-some yards. So I ended the game with like 423 yards total, all offense, and I had a couple tackles.
Okay. What about middle school?
Middle school, most memorable.
What was your most memorable game? You can't remember?
I don't remember too much from middle school.
Yeah.
I remember them losses, though. That helped me out. That helped me out along the way, remembering that, having that back in my head, knowing I had to get better.
You did go to a nationals with MU too as a kid, right?
Yeah, 7th grade.
How was that experience? How was that for you?
Well, like I would think there's gonna be more competition than it was. We fell short, but I knew that we had the talent, we had to work it. We could have won it, but the ball didn't fall the right way. So
Right. So your partner
things
just got
happen.
on. You see him, man. He said, "Who faster, you or him?" Your partner,
Man, I'm
Khalid.
fast. I'm fast. Yeah.
So what's some of the goals you got going into next season?
Well, becoming more complete as a quarterback because I'll probably be quarterback again this year. So I want to be more complete, like in the passing game, to help out in different ways, and I want to like help the team get on the same page as me because we weren't really on the same page this year. Like my first 2 seasons when we had a good starting quarterback, Datz Williams. He went to Indiana. My first year we went 9-1. Second year 10-0. This year we ended 6-4 in the regular season. So we fell a little short, but I feel like we can get back up to the top.
So when you say a more complete quarterback, man, because like I said, I had experience coaching you in the sixth grade, and I
Mm-hmm.
always said that you had one of the highest IQs as a kid, man, I ever seen. But you was a pretty good quarterback. So, and I know it's a different level. So,
Mm-hmm.
when you say a more complete quarterback, do you think it's the system, or do you think do you
Oh,
think
I
you just
know
need to
it's
be
me.
better in the system? Oh, it's you.
It's me. Yeah, I fell off a lot when I started playing wide. I didn't really think about
Oh, okay,
quarterback no
got you,
more.
got you, got you. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Man, hey man, hey, that takes a lot, man. It's just like I said, man, for you to say, you got to get better. You the leader of the team, man. Everybody looking forward to you. And like
Mm-hmm.
Steve mentioned Dexter earlier, man, I'm quite sure some of those things he passed on to you, man, you just carry it over, man, because like I said, man, you have the talent to be a great player. You always exhibited great leadership qualities, man. You always, every time I seen you've been a stand-up guy. So, man, just you know to do, man. All season, just you got to get with your guys. You got to work. You got to
Yeah.
work. You got to work, man.
So
So, how was the adjustment, man, for you leaving public school from Miller, man, going to private over at MDS? How was that
well,
adjustment for you?
how to talk here that private school boys ain't this and ain't that. Well, playing scout team, I realized real quick that it wasn't what we thought it was over there at private school. So
Yeah.
yeah, I had like when I found that I had to be like, oh yeah, I really do gotta work for this. Cause my first year I ain't play much. I got in a couple defense snap and dime. I was a dime vet, but that was about it. But when I started working my sophomore year, I knew like once I became like one of the big parts of the offense, I knew that I could like help out. But it wasn't the biggest thing from public to private is the athleticism. Like public school has a lot more athleticism than private school guys.
So, what about the school period, like
School,
the academics? Yeah.
well, I ain't really never had a problem with that, but it
Never. He never had a problem with that. He never had a problem with that.
it's
That says a lot about you, man.
yeah, it's more hands on. You get more help easily because smaller classes and stuff. But yeah, it's a little more rigorous though.
Yeah, I see you use the word rigorous. That's right. That's right.
Hey, SAT words.
Oh, yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Like, man, that's what's up. Hey, man, going into the next season, man, who are the other guys besides yourself that we can look forward to in Mount sales? Like some of your other guys on the team, man, that we can look forward to.
Kobe Butts. Look for he going big this year. I know it. We know it. He going big. He gonna pick
Is he
up
on
his
the
office. Huh?
he on the defense end, right?
He what?
Does he play defense?
Yeah, he a big defense guy, but he come in fullback when we need him
Okay,
sometimes.
gotcha.
Like he a big linebacker. He made over 200. I don't know. It was a lot of tackles. He had plenty of tackles. He had 2 picks, one on going for 6. And yeah, he a big key to our team. And he a leader too. He leads the defense.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Hey, man. Hey,
Hey,
good luck
before
to
we
you,
leave,
man.
hey Corey, we like for the games this weekend, man. Tell us your predictions on the playoffs this weekend.
I know I like the Packers and probably the Bills.
Ah,
Packers and the Bills.
okay.
You like you on good on the right track, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Look, I hate I got your stats delayed, cause to be honest, you definitely looking at your stats right now, you definitely three, top three, maybe top three, definitely top three. So
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? I wish
hey
I
man, I
had
gotta
time
get
to
y'all stats
revise it.
out there, man. They
If I
got
could work some magic, I'd definitely throw them in there.
I
Well, it's
appreciate it.
there. You definitely got mentioned, man.
Mm.
But yeah, man. Hey, man. Good luck to you on next year, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
All right, so
We definitely look to
appreciate
see you. All right,
you. All
man.
man.
right.
Stay humble, man. Work hard, man.
All right.
Good to have you. All right. Hey, man. That's a good kid, man. Yeah,
So
man.
what y'all?
Before we get into the running backs, man. I want to bring Big Bro on, man. Uh, find the hype south, man.
They call him that man.
Yeah,
He's become that man.
man. Kawasa Reeves Senior, man. We're gonna let him join us, man.
Tell him unmute his mic.
Unmute your mic, Waste. What's going on, man?
What's up, fella?
Coach Reeves,
What's going
man.
on,
What's
man?
happening, man?
What's
Great
going on
Jolly.
with you?
What's up? Boy, man. What's up, bro?
Not
KL, what's
much,
up?
man. Hey, man, we brought y'all on, man. We want you to, talk to us about, how Hype South started. How you got into that.
Hey, man, hold on, man. I'm going to do like the old folks say right here. I'm finna give you your flowers while you here. Okay? Look here, man. I want to say, man, from Middle Georgia, man, thanks for what you've done, man, the platform you provided, man. I'm all for kids, man. And one thing about yourself, man, you've always been a genuine guy, man, and kids first. And I just want to give you your flowers and say, man, thank you for Middle Georgia for what you've done to provide a platform, man, for kids and going to college at the next level, man, obtaining degrees. And for you, the Hype South Skills Lab, you and Coach Arnett, man. So before you get started telling us about that, I just want to say, man, thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate that. Respect, boy.
Oh yeah, man. So with that being said, can you? Because I remember, man, you and Coach Boyd, you guys have been together for a while, especially coaching kids and coaching youth. Can you kind of tell us about the inception of Hype South, where the idea came from, and how long you've been established with the organization?
Yeah. So, I'm born and raised, in Macon, man. So, it always in my head, that I had to fight. Not just me, a lot of guys from the area had to fight a scuffle to get, what little that we did have. And in my mind, it was always because of visibility, exposure. So it always been a thought in my head, man, to eventually one day do something to kind of shed light on what we have in the area. But the idea really came, man, one day, man, probably I think we started in 2014, 2015, around that time. But me and my guy Harnett, Quint Harnett, we talk all the time. So we were having a conversation about, you know, creating an online magazine or just some kind of digital media service to kind of shed light on the area, and that's all it was gonna be. And just so happened at the time, I was taking a class up at Middle Georgia State University. It was called Digital Media, and it was just showing you how to create blogs and all that type of stuff. So once I learned the ins and outs of it, I just created a blog, and I was working at Central High School, and so Derek Evans and some of those kids, I just started to take their pictures and started to write on them a little bit. Uh, I had a minor in that creative writing area, so I knew how to kind of use the words and stuff like that. So we started it that way, and that's all I had envisioned it being, just to get them some exposure. But as time grew, um, things just kind of started happening, man. And I started building all these different relationships as well as hard at. He started building his relationships, and we just started using the resources, man. And then it kind of grew to, you know, basketball team, a Hype South basketball team. I took a group of kids when they were around fourth, fifth grade, put them all together, and 85, 90% of the teams that stayed all the way throughout graduation. Every one of the kids that stayed signed up for scholarship, and we just got through that first class last year. So they're in their freshman year of college. And then, like I said, my son, he came along. He was always playing up. So, he kind of just fell into a situation that was already kind of ready-made for him, not necessarily geared for him, but it was already there. You know what I'm saying? Because I started the Hype South, he was probably fifth grade, sixth grade. We was covering guys like Tyleek and Kayvon Moore, Big K, and he came along. It just so happened he could play, so he kind of benefited from it. So it was created with middle order for all the student athletes, specifically basketball. Now we will highlight football, baseball, just to highlight success stories, but we specialize in covering basketball in the area.
Man, that's very impressive, man. Like I said, you kind of, as a trendsetter yourself, man, the things you've done with the son as far as not following the traditional route of playing with the high circuit AAU teams, you've kind of paved the way for people going forward, man, to show them you can take a different route as far as on the grassroots circuit. As long as you put in hard work and put the correct people around you, man, kids don't always have to go off to those high major, I just say the tennis shoe circuit AAU teams, because a lot of times they're getting the tennis shoes, but they're sitting the bench. So I just want to commend you, man, on being a trendsetter for that, man, and everything that you've done, the way that you paved the way for future athletes in the future. Coach Kevin, you got anything you want to say to Coach Reeves?
Oh man,
let me piggyback. Let me piggyback on that right quick, Jolly, about the shoe circuit stuff. Cause I know a lot of parents and kids might be watching. That's a great point that you just brought up, and I did that. That was intentional. I did that intentionally to show people that it ain't where you go is who you know. So a lot of people try to run to a team because of what's across the chest, right? So we can say, well, my kid played for the Georgia Stars, or my kid played for the Celtics, or whatever shoe team it is. But that's not what gets them ultimately to the next level, right? It's a big part if they go up there and their impact. I'm not knocking it, but I just wanted to show that if you got a kid that put the work in, not a kid, kids that put the work in, that works hard, do the right thing on and off the floor, and you get them with an organization or a group of adults who know the right people and know the right places to go, they can get to their destination locally. It's more than one way to skin a cat, like the old folks say. So, I think I've showed that with the Hype South movement, along with Team Georgia Magic, the Warner Robins All-Stars. I think all of us kind of collaborating together collectively, I think it showed the area what can be done when people work together with the right intentions.
Man, you preaching today, boy, I tell you. That's what it's all about, man. Exposure, man. Exposure, man. That's what it's all about.
Look, Jay, when I thought I had the question, he don't answer every question I don't have all in one monologue, bro. Hey, he definitely laid it out, man.
Oh, man, my bad, bro. My bad, bro. My bad.
Hey, it's
I'm real passionate about this, man.
Look, we see the proof in the pudding, man, especially with the work you putting in. Like, we watching probably one of the greatest athletes in Middle Georgia right now playing, so I know you're doing good stuff, man.
Yeah, and also, man, not just boys, man. We've been spending a little time with the girls in the past, and it's not been as focused as the boys, and we've still been able to send them, 10, 12 girls on the all different levels of college, but we're finna ramp up on the girls' side. So we can kind of bring them up to speed, man, with the boys a little bit. Like I said, we do give them a little coverage and stuff like that, but we finna ramp up on that, man, because we got a lot of good up and coming talent, young girls, man, that can really play. And they just need that visibility, man. That's the only thing they're missing. The visibility and exposure. So, we're gonna focus on getting them some of that too.
But speaking of that, man, can you tell the viewers about potential Hype South events you got that are coming up in the spring and over the summer? Can you tell us about things that are that Hype South has coming up?
Yes, sir. If COVID-19, man, if it permits, man, and hopefully some of this stuff will blow over. The next event, we're looking around March the 18th through the 20th. Not somewhere. It's gonna be one day in between that time. We don't have it confirmed, but we're gonna have a Hype South Middle Georgia All Star Classic. We're gonna have a middle school boys and girls game, and a high school boys and girls game, and we're working out the logistics on it now. But some information and details will start coming out on that hopefully within the next week. And we're gonna try to get that going. It's gonna be real nice. All the kids. It'll be free for the kids, because we're just trying to shine light on them, and we're gonna make it real nice. We're gonna make it real nice, kind of like the invitation was, and then after that, we're looking at doing an unsigned hype for unsigned seniors, boys and girls, and that'll probably be the following weekend. But we're working on it now. We're trying to hurry up and get everything confirmed so we can start shooting stuff out, so people can kind of be in place.
And if people want to follow the Hype South movement, where would they go online, or how people get in touch to follow the Hype South movement and possibly, join the Hype South team, or how people get information on Hype South?
Okay, you can always visit the website. It's hypesouth.com. We drop articles and write-ups on there, graphic work, stuff like that. So that's hypesouth.com, and then on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Hype South Media. At Hype South Media. And on Facebook, it is Hype South.
Okay. And, man, I'm going to say this, and man. Then,
we'll be putting some information out today. I'll be collaborating with Coach Boyd again. He'll be the coach for my middle school age, 2025, 2026 kind of age kids. So we'll be putting some information out today on that. If anybody's interested in having a kid play for Hype South, it'll be middle grades. You can contact Coach Boyd and or myself, and we'll let you know the details on dates and stuff like that. And we're just trying to, we kind of shift focus to the next up and coming group, man, and try to put them in front of the right people in the right places, because I believe I built the relationships. I did the groundwork. I've been in the trenches. I'm not trying to come step on nobody's toes, but I'm coming trying to help kids. And we're going to open the door, and if they want to come join, the door is wide open.
Hey, man, I'm going to say, first of all, man, just keep up the great work, man. I got a funny story with you, man. I remember I was officiating the Datz Major basketball league, man, with your son shooting from the free throw line. I had to let it go down, man. So I don't have a favorite school, man. I'm a fan of kids. And so I just want to say, man, I'm a fan of Kawhi Reed Jr., man. As he continues to develop as a player and as a person, I'll be following him, man. So big up to you and your wife, man, and your family for raising a great young man, man. He's a very humble kid, man. I wish you guys nothing but success, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate that.
Hey, man, I had a question, man. Just want to jump off the Hype South thing for a second, man. How is it? What's your experience, man? Because I know you're over there with the girls, Central Girls. How's your experience, being an assistant coach over there, man? Because y'all doing pretty good, man. I like the process, man.
Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, man, this is my 5th year over there, working with the girls. Man, I love it, man. It's a different dynamic than working with the boys. More teaching involved because it's more team oriented. Boys are a lot more athletic. They're a lot more quicker and fast for the most part, and so they sometimes they tend to veer off and kind of do their own thing. Whereas with girls, they depend on each other more. So I kind of like that, man. I kind of like that, bro. And it's awesome watching the process. You know, when they come in as freshmen, you know, some of them will be talented, but they don't really know the game, and they're just coaching them up, showing them film, and you know, during timeouts, you know, they might walk up and say, Coach Reeves, Coach T, or whoever, on this play, you know, she's doing such and such. What I do, man, I love that part about it, man. Just teaching them and just watching them grow, and just like with the boys, you know, I'm gonna tell you, I take pride in if a girl want to go to college and hoop, and she put work in, I feel like a failure if I don't get her in school, right? So,
Gotcha.
man, you can ask anybody, Quincy O, Coach T, you ask them, man. Man, I'm up all time of night, man, trying to figure out a way to get these kids moved on that want to be moved on, whether it's girls, boys, or whatever, man. I'm reaching out to coaches. I'm making film work, man. I'm doing their stats. So, you know, if they want to do it, and I know they want to do it, then I'm gonna try to help them to, you know, to the best of my ability, and not just Central girls. You know, all the girls in the city and surrounding areas, man. I have them all reach out to me, and you know, I do a little research on them, you know, make sure before I kind of put my name on them, you know, to make sure everything on the up. And once I find out everything on the up, man, it's over with. You know,
Yes.
you know, you're gonna see them signing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my experience with the girls, man. It's like with boys, helping them get out of here. But with the girls, I like the teaching part and the camaraderie more. Just my opinion.
Quinn said, "Put your safety goggles on and come to the lab."
Skill lab, baby. Skill lab.
Shout out to Quint, man. This hype soft skill lab, man. So, as a parent,
Hey,
man,
bleed
you
your
know,
eyes. Bleed your eyes. Bleed your eyes, not your ears, baby.
right.
Huh?
So as a parent,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
you know, with you having one of the, you know, the top basketball players in the state, man, how you deal with that, man? You know, all the talk around the
Uh,
city.
yeah. Initially, man, cause people, you know, in this I found out, man. I ain't gonna say people. I said a lot of people. Some people. Uh, they just don't like to see success, man. Shout out to all the supporters though. We love y'all. We see y'all. But what I find out, man, you know, initially it bothered me with a lot of the naysayer stuff. So, you know, I'm a making guy from around here. So, you know, I kind of get with them a little bit, but you know, when I realize, man, I can't try to fight those negative battles. Uh, so I just start to step back and let the work show. And after a while, consistency in when the work show, you'll start to see some of them people disappear. And so that's kind of what happened. You know, I just kind of got quiet, and he kept working and doing what he's been doing since he was young, putting the work in. And so after he kept, you know, just going up, going up, going up. A lot of those people you don't see them no more. They don't come to the games no more. They just quiet, and I like it that way. So I plan to keep it that way because we got some other stuff coming, and we just gonna keep putting it out there, man. And we're gonna keep moving, and we're gonna keep blessing people, man. We're gonna keep blessing people.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
man. Coach Kevin told me you got something else coming up the Reeves family tree. He said there's another Reeves on the horizon, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
hey, I just go to the games, Coach Reeves. That's all I do. I just go to the games, okay?
Well,
It- it's
I can
another
definitely,
Reeves coming down the tree.
I can definitely speak. I can definitely speak on that, man. You know, I kind of go to games, man. I don't been to a few middle school games, man, and I've been to a few of the Weaver games, man. And I watched Miss Reeves, Casey, and man, her IQ, man, her feel for the game already. You got something. You got something. When we was talking earlier, man, you know, hey, she's making passes I ain't seen high school boys make. You know, and I think, man, you know, if y'all stay on her, man, and I know she's in that lab. You know, I've seen a few videos on in the lab. You know, she's in the right lab, man, and she got the right parents. Hey, man, I see her doing
Oh
something,
yeah,
man. I definitely see her
yeah.
doing
She
something
just,
in
man.
sixth grade.
She you know, I'm just I'm kind of monitoring it, man. She, one day, probably about 5, 6 months ago, she said, "Dad, I want to play." I kind of didn't think she was serious at first, but she just kept on, man. Take me to the gym, take me to the gym. So I just started, I dropped off over there with hard net like I did Lil Wasted, and I sit back and watch. I might put my own out and record, but I let him do his thing, man. So where she's at for it to be her first year, I'm a little encouraged by it, man. But she got a long ways to go, man. And one thing I tell her, be Casey, be the best Casey you can be. Don't try to be Lil Waste, because
Right.
y'all are different, y'all are unique in y'all own way. So be your own person. I don't want to call you Lil Wasted sister. I want to call you Casey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They tell him that's Casey's brother.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I'm excited about it, man. She asked questions just like I mentioned earlier. She asked a lot of questions, and she always looking over there at me, or she asked me something after the game, and I don't do all that hooping and hollering, man. I just sit there, and then after the game, we'll get in the car, and I tell her X, Y, Z, and just have a question. I try to answer it, and that's it, man. We're just gonna put out there, let the chips fall where they may, man.
Best kind of parent, man. Best kind of sports parent. Yeah, man.
Hey, man, you and Coach Voyage, y'all been together, man, from day one. I could be a testament. They ain't just joining forces, people. They've been together from the start up, building this thing up. Coach Voyage in the background, man.
I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. There's 2025, 2026. Y'all better get on board, cause when it get moving, I'm telling you, when it get moving, it's moving. So, 7th grade, 8th grade kids, parents, keep your eyes open.
With his boys and girls, or with his boys? What is for? Both genders. What we doing?
It's boys right now. For sure, it's boys. Girls is in discussion. It's in discussion.
Okay.
Yep.
Like I said, man, we thank you, man, for I'm Clark for coming on, man. I know things get a little busy, man. So definitely thanks for taking time, man, out just letting people know, man, promoting the brand, man, and letting people know. A lot of people, they just know the Hype South, man. They already know the Hype South, man. They don't even know his name, man. So a great opportunity. Thank you, man, for coming on, man.
I want to shout y'all out, man. Void, I like what you're doing with this platform, man. Keep it up. Great for the Macon area. I like what y'all doing by highlighting the kids. I'm all for that. It's great to have a lot of different platforms, a lot of different outlets. The more the better. Positive outlets, man. Y'all keep it up. Kevin, man, keep it, man. I love your insight, bro. I like your style, man. Keep it up, man. Jolly.
Appreciate it.
You've been at this for a while, man. Coming up through the ranks, working the school system, taking kids, on your weekends, taking them to camps and, paying for them to do this when they ain't got that. Man, salute, man. Y'all keep doing for the kids. Takes a village, like everybody say. And if y'all need me, baby, I'm right here.
All right, man.
Right.
We sure appreciate that, man. Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
Hey, man, we got to get Reed Jr. on before the year out. So when this schedule free up, man, we got to get Reed Jr. on.
Done deal.
All right.
All right. Y'all salute, bro.
All right, man, have a good one, man. Hey, this concept, I know you root for him.
Hey, boy, y'all leave me alone, baby, because I'm going to go talk a little noise right now.
All right, man, take care.
All right, fella.
All right,
hold on, bro.
I got an Aaron Rodgers mask down here. I'm finna go get put on. Be Aaron Rodgers.
I'm taking the gunslinger too, boy. I'm take that gun.
Hey, man.
I might go with the GOAT, man. I think I might go with the GOAT on that one.
Hey, man, let me see if I get my girls back on here, man. I'm kind of jealous I don't got everybody else and I ain't got my girls back on here, man, for the youth spotlight, man. Let's see if we get them back on.
Come on.
Miss Mathis.
That's the mic.
Miss Mathis, can you hear? There she goes.
There she go.
Hey, Miss Mathis. Hello?
She gotta cut her mic on.
Cut your mic on, baby.
You know what? If they using their phone, they probably gonna have to use some earplug with a little mic on them.
You ain't got no headphones, baby.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay, there goes somebody audio.
Hey, Miss Mathis.
Queen. I don't think she still. I think she can hear us, but
yeah, they can't.
I'm on. I
you
can hear.
You can hear who that princess?
Yes.
Caitlin, let's see. Can we get your mic going? You on?
Yes.
Queen, see, can you get your mom to see what's going on with your mic?
No, you have to. You have to approve the mic settings on the phones.
Right. So, Princess, what's going on?
Good.
Okay. Let's start out by telling the other coaches in the audience what school you go to.
St. Peter Claver Catholic School.
Okay. How long you been playing basketball?
For 5 years.
5 years. So I got the pleasure of coaching y'all a little bit this year. Over there with Coach Freeman. So what you thought about the game yesterday?
See, it was a good game, but like it was just like everybody was all over the place.
All over the place. Over the place.
That's when basketball fun then.
Yeah. Everybody everywhere and nobody listen.
It was like some people was not where they was supposed to be. So I was just like, okay.
We can call you coach. Hey, well, I'm gonna have to make you the coach. We're gonna bring Princess, Coach Princess. You'll like that?
Yes.
So you'll like coaching more than you shoot jump shot?
No.
So you want to shoot?
You try to take the ball out of her hand, get her straight to the clipboard.
Hey, that miss catch and shoot right there.
Miss Simmons, who's your favorite WNBA or NBA player?
Candace Parker.
What about you, Miss Mathis? Who's your favorite WNBA player?
I don't think she's.
She heard us.
She hears us.
You seen the eyebrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, she heard us.
But her mic is not muted, so I don't know what's going on with it.
Miss Simmons, what's your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Okay. How do you feel about your school virtual or are you in person?
I'm virtual now because my school went back virtual. We were just in person last week, but somebody had COVID, so we had to go home.
I totally understand. I've been back and forth as well as a teacher. So, as a student, which one do you favor, virtual or in person?
In person.
What advantages are there to being in person? Like, what are the advantages?
In virtual, it's like you get distracted a lot, but in person, you can't get distracted like that.
Okay, those are great points. Can Ms. Mathis hear us, y'all?
She can hear us, but she can't say anything.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying to see if her mom can really help her with her mic, or she may have to get some headphones. And if we can't get Miss Mathis, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bring her back on so we can get her.
That's right.
Yeah.
Miss Mathis, can you type? Who's your favorite WNBA player? Or NBA player? Who's your favorite NBA player?
I think she typing.
She's trying to say it, yeah.
Type it in.
Prince, do you know who our favorite NBA player, WNBA player is? You don't know?
Miss Simmons, how many games have you guys played this season?
2.
What's your guys' record?
2-0. Like we
he really asked that. He really asked that, didn't he? He really asked that. They play with Middle Georgia Push too, man. What's your experience with that, Princess? Playing with the Push.
It's like we play up, so it's like you get a better experience because you playing up.
Okay.
Playing against old competition.
Got Coach Chris Walton down there, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do you like Chris?
Where's that organization based out of?
Warner Robins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Warner Robins. They got a pretty they pretty known, for as the girls.
Yeah. How many years have you been playing with the Push?
3. 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And Kayla said she played 3 years with the Push as well. And Candace Parker is her favorite WNBA player.
Okay. Well, Caitlin, you had a pretty good game yesterday. I know you can't say anything, but you had a pretty good game. Princess said she wanted to be the coach. She said everybody jumping and running everywhere and don't know where they're going.
What's the most points y'all ladies don't score in the game? How many points you don't ever score in the game?
I don't even know.
You don't even keep count.
That just catch and shoot right there.
Kayla said her career high 12.
12 points. Hey, that sounds like she don't been doing a lot of scoring and she don't even keep up with the points no more.
Oh yeah, well, ladies, it was a pleasure having you ladies on, and we look forward to great things from you on the court and also in the classroom. So I know it's hard to get teenagers to do things for you on a Sunday sometimes. So I just want to thank you ladies for coming on, and I wish you nothing but success in the future.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. And Caitlin, we're gonna bring you back on the show since your mic ain't working. I'm gonna bring your mic to practice. All right, ladies, y'all have a nice evening.
You too.
See y'all later. Oh, is it that time? Is it what we doing?
Yeah, man.
Hey, fellas, man. It's that time.
That's the wrong one.
The guys that get all the shine, man, they get to score most of the touchdowns. They the guys that get all the girls most of the time because they got the 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns. We talking Middle Georgia top 10 running backs, Coach Kevin.
So we here. I'm gonna put a disclaimer on this. Like I said at the top of the show, we don't have nothing from Peach County. We really I based this off of the stats that we had listed. I think I put a pretty good list together, and I got like a little criteria I went by when I slapped it together. I was looking at amount of rushing yards, looking at rushing touchdowns. I looking at yards per carry. And then overall team production. That's pretty much what I base this my ranking off of. Yeah, I did the top 10, and we gonna go ahead and jump into it. So I'm gonna start out. I'm gonna go with my honorable mention. This player right here, he is a big kind of product, and one thing about him, I'm putting him at the honorable mention position because anytime he took the ball, the man can literally take the ball to the pot mints. That's what they call it. Anytime he touched the ball, he can bust it open. Khalid Evans out of Northeast, rushed for 69 rushing yards, had 9 rushing TDs, every 5 yards a carry. had 13 receptions for 169 yards and a receiving touchdown. He accounted for 26% of the total offense. Pretty much all the offensive yardage accumulated by team, he accounted for over a quarter of that by himself. Played for the Northeast Raider team, coached by Jeremy Wiggins. They had an outstanding season this year at 8-3. They made a second round appearance in the Class AA state playoff. They lost to Fitzgerald, Diamond Fitzgerald. But like I said, he touched the ball. That man take the ball to the pot net. That Khalid Evans.
I like the pot nets right
there. Top 10. That shows for your top 10, man. If the honorable mention, Khalid Evans, the honorable mention, it really shows the depth of running backs in Middle Georgia. And so going forward, I definitely look for that kid to be in the top 10 next season.
Yeah, he's one of 3 underclassmen that made this list. It's a total of 3 underclassmen that's on this list altogether. So my next pick, this sophomore, number 10. We're going with Javon Butler out of Bleckley County. He ran for 1,092 yards, had 8 rushing touchdowns. He averaged 7 yards, 7.4 yards a carry. 2 receptions. He wasn't used too much in the passing game, but he accounted for 30% of all the Bleckley offense. Also, Bleckley had an 83 record, and they made it to the Elite 8 in Class AA this year in the playoffs.
Oh, that says a lot for a sophomore right there.
Oh, yeah. So then this one is a typo on the class. I'm going number 9 out of Upson Lee. We're going Malik Smith. From Upson Lee. He ran for 1,100 yards, 1,108 yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, 6.5 yards a carry. He had 7 receptions for 104 yards and a reception touchdown. He accounted for 27% of Upson Lee offense with a 6-6 record. They also made a second round appearance, but they are second round in AAA class or state playoff appearance. So there's number 9. That's Malik Smith. So let's step up to number 8. Number 8. This is one. He's one of 2. We're gonna start with the young buck out of Warner Robins. We're gonna roll with Mr. Malcolm Brown, sophomore running back for Warner Robins. This is the second of the 3 underclassmen on the list. Straight from Warner Robins High School. He won a state championship, 5A class, rushed for 1,100 yards, 10 rushing touchdowns. He averaged 9.6 yards a carry. So pretty much the man to walk a first down. He had 14 receptions for 120 yards, 1 touchdown. He accounted for 21% of the offense. And I'm pretty sure, Jolly, you had 2 on your list from Warner Robins. I have 2 on my list from Warner Robins. Al, you had probably the number 1 overall rated quarterback on your list. So Warner Robins really is astounding that this man was able to rush for 1,100 yards, and he's not the lead back. He's option 1B, if you want to call him that. Warner Robins has 15-0 record, 5A state champions.
I think they lost one. I think they lost one, coach.
Who, Warner Robins?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost one early in the season, I believe.
Okay.
I think it was the veterans, if I ain't mistaken.
I don't know if it was veterans. It was somebody.
Veterans or was it Lee County?
Lee County.
Okay.
Lee County. Yeah, I did. That was Lee County.
But actually, some of these guys are Warner Robins. For those guys that have explosive playmakers all over the field, that really shows what type of program they have down there, man. Right. Shout out to Warner Robins.
So we're going to go and step up to number 7. Number 7, Dalen Gordon out of Dodge County. He is a Georgia All-State honorable mention. Rushed for 1,093 yards. He had 13 rushing touchdowns. Averaged 8.4 yards a carry. 6 receptions for a couple yards. And he accounted for almost 30% of all the Dodge County offense. They had a 6-4 record and second round appearance in the AA class of the state playoffs. We'll go number 6. Mikael Kendrick out of Perry. He rushed for 1,152 yards, 14 rushing touchdowns, 5.4 yards a carry. He had 23 receptions for 183 yards, and he's one of the backs that actually was featured a little bit more in the passing game. He accounted for almost 30% of Perry's offense as well. They had an 8-5 record, like Jolly, you mentioned earlier that Perry almost had like a resurrection. They were able to turn their fortunes around this year with 8-5 record, and they also made Elite 8 appearance in Class 4A football this year. Number 5, we got one of Robbins checking back in. This guy, I think that he probably, if number 8 wasn't there, he probably would be a lot higher on the list because he split carries with the number 8 guy on the list with Malcolm Brown. We got Jalen Rutherford. I got him checking in at number 5, state champion at the 5A level. He's also All-State Georgia honorable mention. He rushed for 1,173 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, averaged 6 yards a carry, had 7 receptions for 53 yards and a touchdown. He accounted for 20% of the offense. So between 2 running backs, they pretty much amassed close to half of the yards for Warner Robbins on the ground. They had a 14-1 record, typo. Class 5A state champion. So we down to number 4 on my list. Number 4, he's out of veterans. We're going LeBron Fields. LeBron Fields did a little bit of everything for veterans last year. He's also another Georgia All-State honorable mention. He rushed for 1,121 yards. He had 4 rushing touchdowns, but what stood out to me was him in the passing game. He averaged 6.2 yards a carry, but he had 35 receptions for 487 yards. He accounted for 43.3% of all the veterans' offense. In Class 5A, they played and had a 4-6 record. So that's my number 4 pick, LeBron Fields. Now these next three, personally, they kind of like in a category of their own to me. I'm gonna go number 3. We got a big kind of prospect. We're going Jesse Phelps Jr. from Rutland High School. Jesse is also an All-State honorable mention. He rushed for 1,329 yards. He had 13 rushing touchdowns. He averaged 7.5 yards a carry. Had 9 receptions for 49 yards. So pretty much he did it all on the ground. But this man accounted for 72% of all the Rutland offensive productivity. 72%. That pretty much meant he was going into all these games with them knowing he was going to get the ball 7 out of 10 times, and he amassed 1,300 yards behind that line. That goes to show a lot about Rutland's line as well, for him to be able to pick up that kind of yardage for them. They had a 1-7 record in Class 4A, but he's, like I said, he's an All-State honorable mention.
I thought it was about 90.
Look,
I thought it was about 90.
I didn't even, and that wasn't even including special teams. So it may be higher than that. It may be closer to 90 than where it is now.
At one point, Phelps led the state. He was leading the state in rushing, despite their record. So, man, Phelps, he consistently been a workhorse all year round.
Ooh, but 1-7. Goodness gracious.
So let's go. Number 2. We going with out of Jones County. We going Andrew Carter. He is a Georgia All-State honorable mention. He rushed for 1,705 yards. He had 29 rushing touchdowns. He had averaged 7.7 yards a carry. He had 24 receptions for 167 yards. He accounted for 33% of all the Jones County offense. That was a high-power offense. They had a 11-4 record, and they had a Final Four appearance in Class 5A in the state playoffs.
Good God.
Corner also had down the stretch, man. He had 2 or 3 200-yard ball game, rushing yards games down the stretch. I remember being like, man, this kid's on the tear. So if Corner is your number 2 guy, your number 1 guy gotta be your number 1 guy gotta be a man child. If Corner checks in at number 2.
I'm telling everybody the story how we even got the number one guy. His stats I couldn't find them on Matt's Prep. We end up getting a message from his coach, and initially he sent the stats in, and Jolly, you posted it in our little group. We was talking about it, and I looked at it, and first thing I said was, "Man, ain't no way in hell this boy did all this."
Yeah, that was some. Look like Madden stats.
I looked at it, I was like, man, you is not been telling me this man ain't did all this.
And I got it from on Twitter.
So then what I did, I got online, and that night, I probably was up about 3 o'clock in the morning. When I tell you, I know for a fact, this man rushed for every single one of them yards that he had listed. Hey. Everything, I thought the coach was trying to pad the stats, but hey, it ain't no padding here. I'm going to check the difference between the first guy and the honorable mention. The number 1 guy almost triple each one of the honorable mention stats. Number 1, out of Waco, Washington County, Malik Walker. You got to go and throw the crown on this man. Out of Waco, he is All-State first team. He rushed for 2,272 yards. He had 33 rushing touchdowns. He averaged 13.7 yards a touch. He had 5 receptions for 100 yards, 1 reception touchdown.
Oh, so he had
1,100 yards in special team and added on 3 touchdowns in special team.
Oh, so they did have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Good God,
he accounted for 68% of Washington County offense. They had a 65 record. They made a state playoff appearance in Class 2A. But man, let me go. I got to go back for a second. This just is like unbelievable.
If I'm not mistaken, who the Raiders lost? Who took down the Raiders this year, Coach Voigt? Dodge or Washington?
It wasn't Washington. It was Dodge.
No, we beat Washington. He
had
an okay game against us, but and I'm thinking if he would have had one of them games against us,
he had an okay game, and he still rushed for 150. I don't watch the film.
With them numbers, man, I was thinking they ain't have a quarterback. They were just snapping the ball to him. Goodness gracious, man. So you just said somebody reception? He might be throwing it to himself.
and the thing about it, look, he rushed for 2,200 yards off 160 carries, man.
Yeah, man. They got from what I seen, man, like you know how Fitzgerald is, man. Fitzgerald is Washington County times 2. They just power running. That's all they really did. I was glad when I seen the quarterback drop back to throw the ball. But yeah, he was running. He definitely running. But I know he didn't have one of those real big games against us.
Yeah,
Just been saying that if he had 105th against us and the man still just take our game off, he still got 2,000 yards.
Oh yeah. Like I said, man, the man, and that's statewide. That's cross any region. That's cross any class. Nobody rushed for more yards. He is the rushing champion for the state.
Hey, man, he's the undisputed king of Middle Georgia.
Oh yeah, yep, the undisputed.
Khalid say he had 2 something against them. So I don't know if probably took it away. Maybe he had a loss or something. Well, I don't know. 2,200 yards. I don't know. It hard to tackle him for a loss.
That's in 11 games, man. That average out to exactly 200 yards a game. Him walking on the field, at running back, you getting 200 yards of productivity.
Oh yeah,
and touchdowns, he averaging 33 touchdowns. He played 11 games. He averaged 200 yards, 3 touchdowns a game. That's his average.
Goodness.
Hey man, You did a great job, man, analyzing that list, man. There's really nothing to debate. You did a great job, man, breaking it down, man, and so there's really nothing to dispute about this running back list, man. I think you did an outstanding job on that, man. So we look forward to the underclassmen guys that were underclassmen to rise in the rankings next season.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, we're looking out for Khalid Evans. We're looking out for Javon Butler as well as Malcolm Brown. Those are 3 underclassmen on those lists. And I like those 3 going forward. I'm looking for them to be the top 3 backs going in the next season.
Oh yeah, me too, man. But fellas, man, I think we gotta go ahead. You got something you want to show us, man?
Oh, this pretty much we gonna give you a little graphic of what each player produced out of their team's total offense. Up here, you like I said, you got Jesse Phelps. He pushing that 70+% as far as
I don't push him up a little bit more.
Offense.
Push him on up a little bit more.
look, I want to push him up, but shoot, I can't lie to you. Corner, them extra 400 yards count. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, look, he can't take credit for that. He was on the better team.
Well, I'm talking about far as his, his.
Oh no, you talking MVP? Undoubtedly, he is. I take Malik Walker and Jesse Phelps, and between those 2 would be my MVP if I got to pick one. But I mean, even when you looking at Malik Walker, man, he almost doubled Jesse Phelps' production. He had pretty much almost 1,000 more yards than Jesse Phelps. So it's hard to say. You can't argue with that, man. Let me go back. Show you the man again. That's the guy right there. That's that man.
That's that man.
Mama, that's that man right. Hello, that's that man right there, mama. Right there. That guy.
Yeah, how they be doing? Everybody pouring.
And like I said, Pete County, I got a feeling it's a back down there in Peach County that we should have had his stats in. So, you know what I'm saying? Look for those people down in Folk Valley, down in that area. Y'all need to get at them coaches, man. Get these stats to us so we can get these kids recognized.
I think Northside got a few down there too, man. Just based on their system, I know they got somebody.
Oh, they had a kid, Jalen Stephens. He was the starting back, the lead back this year, so I do know him. They had a kid by the name of Jalen Stephens. But guys, I just want to say, man, it was a great show today. I got my TV on right here, so I know the whole entire Middle Georgia getting ready for the GOAT versus Discount. So I just want to say, man, you guys did an outstanding job, man, with your list. And shout out to Coach Reeves, shout out to Zay and Corey. Man, great show, Coach Boyd, man. Way to put this thing together, Coach Kevin. Great job with the graphics, man. So I definitely believe, man, what we got going, man, is something positive, man. And we're just going to continue to try to shine a light on the youth in Middle Georgia, man.
I want to give a shout out to Washington County coach because if he wouldn't have came through, he came in the clutch with those stats, man. And it would have been a real travesty for him not to be on this list.
Let me tell you before we go, man, about the impact of 2021 COVID on the senior class and its transfer portal. Malik doesn't have a school right now. His coach was trying to promote him because he doesn't have an offer. So if a kid like that doesn't have an offer, it really tells you what's going on, man, as far as the transfer portal and how it's affecting guys, man. You're going to have a lot of guys that's going to be qualified, but they're going to end up at the junior college level this year just based on that transfer portal, man, and we'll tap into that on another show going forward. But that's how the coach was promoting Malik, man, trying to get him some offers.
Yeah, Sean Hill, man. Yeah, just going off the comment, man. Yeah, Maurice Elder did have a decent year, man. We did see him.
Did what I say about that. He had a decent year, but the numbers don't lie. Unfortunately, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it is. Like, he'll definitely be one to look out for next year. But, as a matter of fact, to be honest, I think Khalid was probably the second highest total, like, that didn't break 1,000 yards. Like I said, with him being the honorable mention, that just say a lot about, you know what I'm saying, talent around the Middle Georgia area. Because that boy is definitely a ball player.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fellas, man. Until next time, it was a great show, man. We'll get back to it, man. Get back to it next week, man. Go on ahead and get ready to watch a little Green Bay.
Hey,
I ain't watching the other team.
I'm with the GOAT, Brady. Don't go against him.
We'll talk about it next show. We'll be talking about it.
Hey, I'm taking the gunman. I'm going with the gunman.
Did kind of double check. I like my number 12.
Yeah,
I like number 12 with the green and yellow on.
And I need some, and my insurance don't lapse. So I need to get some insurance. I need that discount.
Check.
Yeah, I need to double check, man. I need some insurance. Insurance. If we got any insurance adjusters on here, please inbox me after this. I need some insurance.
All right, man. Until next time, man.
Hold down.
All right.